Welcome back, class. Today we're going to be talking about how to multiply binomials using the box method. Remember that a binomial is just an expression with two different terms. So the steps to multiplying binomials with the box method, there's 6 steps, and the first step is to draw a box and divide it into 4. So when you draw a box, you're just going to draw a square, and to divide it into 4, I'm going to draw a line down the middle and a line across to split that box into 4. The second step is to write the terms of one binomial across the top 2 boxes. So if my binomial was 3x plus 4, I would write 3x across the top and 4 on the other box on the top. The third step is to write the terms of the second binomial beside the boxes on the left. So again, if my terms were, let's say they were 3x plus 4 again, so I would put 3x to the left here, and then 4 down by that bottom box. And then the fourth step would be to multiply the terms to fill in each square. I'll show you how to do that in this next example. The fifth step is combine any like terms, and then the sixth step is to rewrite your solution. So those 6 steps are what you'll follow to multiply binomials. Let's do an example problem to see how this works. Alright, so in example number 1, we have the binomial x plus 4 times the binomial x plus 5. To solve this thing, we need to do step 1, which is write a box, draw a box, split it into 4, just like that. I'm going to take this first binomial right here, and I'm going to write it across the top. So my first term is x, so I'm going to put that above the first box. And my second term is 4, so I'm going to put that above the second box. Then I'm going to take my second binomial, x plus 5, and I'm going to write that down the side. So my first term is x, and my second term is 5. Alright, so then the fourth step is to multiply to fill in the boxes. So to fill in this box right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take x times x, and x times x is x squared. And then to fill in this box right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 times x, which is 4x. To fill in this box, I'm going to take 5 times x, which is 5x. And to fill in this last box, I'm going to take 5 times 4, which is 20. Alright, and then my fifth step is to combine any like terms. So I can see that my like terms are right here. And to give you a hint, they're almost always in this diagonal pattern right here is where you'll find your like terms. So there's only one x squared term, and there's only one number, 20, but there's 2 boxes that have x's, a 5x and a 4x. So I need to combine those. 5x plus 4x would be 9x. My last step then, step number 6, is to write my solution. So the way that I write my solution is I always want to put my my variable with the highest exponent, I want to list that first. So x squared is my highest exponent, so I'm going to put x squared. And then I combine that 5x and that 4x, so that will give me 9x. And then my last term would be this plus 20. Okay, so notice the order that I wrote this. My highest exponent, and then my next highest exponent, and then the one with no variable last. Okay, so that's the order that you always want to write these things. That's example 1. Let's go on to an example that's a little more complicated. You'll see in example 2 that this time we have some negative numbers involved. So I just want to talk about how we deal with the negative numbers when we use the box method. Same first step, I'm just going to write my box, and I'm going to split it into 4. Then I'm going to take my first binomial, and I'm going to write the terms on top. So my first term is 3x, and my second term is 4. Then I write the second binomial. The first term is 2x, and this time the second term is a negative 3. Okay, see how it says 2x minus 3? So that means that my 3 down here has to be a negative 3. So I just want to make sure that I include that negative. This negative right here is a key thing. You don't want to forget about that. That's where a lot of us make our mistakes. So make sure that you include that negative. Alright, step number 4 then is to just combine these, or multiply these to fill in all the boxes. So 3x times 2x, 3 times 2 is 6, and x times x is x squared. Then I fill in the next one. 4 times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I just keep my x. The next one I have 3x times negative 3. So again, you just need to be careful about your negative signs here. 3 times negative 3, a positive times a negative is a negative. And then I just keep my x. And then finally I take 4 times negative 3, a positive times a negative is a negative. And I fill it in just like that. So, my next step then, step number 5, is to combine any like terms. So again, like I said before, this diagonal section right here is where you're always going to find your like terms. They're always going to be right here. Okay, so I combine those. I have 8x minus 9x is going to give me negative 1x, or just negative x, right? So the last step is to just simply write my solution, which I write my highest exponent first, which is this 6x squared. And then I write my x's, and remember this time we said that it's negative 1x, or just negative x. And then I write my last term, this negative 12. Alright, so that is how you multiply binomials. You'll notice that whenever you multiply binomials, you end up with a trinomial. See, we have an expression here with 3 terms, so that's a trinomial. I've got one more example in your notes for you to try on your own, so try that. I hope it comes easy to you, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.